Hey everybody, Shaun Stevenson here, author of the Throne series, and I am back again with another review. And this is, sadly, the end of an era. The end of my journey through the SPINECHILLERS books. This is the last book in the series, book number 12, A Haunted Mine is a Terrible Thing to Waste. And this is the last book in the whole series by Freddie Katz, aka Tim Ayers. And so I'm here with a review of this book. If you've seen my review for the last book in the series, number 11, Hospitals Make Me Sick, you will know that I did not enjoy that book. It was not good. It was pretty bad. My brother actually just read it and he called to tell me, he said, what was even happening in this book? It was not good. So we both agreed that it was not a good one. And we both agreed, actually, I think that it's the lowest on our ranking of all the SPINECHILLERS books. So where does number 12 fall? Well, that's what we need to find out. So SPINECHILLERS Mysteries, book number 12. This is a series that is kind of a Goosebumps ripoff. It came out in the 90s, and it was at the height of the Goosebumps craze. This one came out around 1998, so the height of the Goosebumps craze. And a lot of different companies were getting in on Goosebumps by making their own versions of a Goosebumps series. So the Christian market also was making this. There were actually 2 spooky series based on Goosebumps ideas that were made in the Christian market. SPINECHILLERS, which was renamed SPINECHILLERS Mysteries, as well as Heebie-Jeebies. And so both of these series were put out to really capitalize on this, but also to tell alternative stories to the ones in the Goosebumps books. So In a Haunted Mine is a terrible thing to waste. I was a little sad reading this book because I thought, wow, this is my last one of these. I've read all the rest of them. It's been fun. There's been some that were really great and some that were really bad. But here I am at the end of this entire series now. And in book number 12, I actually decided to read this book by candlelight. So I did. I read this with a couple of candles lit, and I closed the blinds, closed the door, so it was super dark in the room as I read this book, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed reading this book by candlelight, and it kind of helped make the atmosphere a little spooky as I read it, and so it was enjoyable. So number 12. This book is about some kids who are coming with their church group to a ghost town. And which I thought about this. As I was talking to my brother, I said, I don't think there was ever a Goosebumps, at least in the original series. Not sure about in the newer series like Goosebumps Series 2000 or Horrorland or Slappy's World. But I don't think there was a Goosebumps book that was set in a ghost town. I can't think of one. If you know of one, please put it in the comments below because I would love to read that. So this one is set in a ghost town where there is this old abandoned city that no one's lived in for years. There was a silver mine there once upon a time, but they've all left because of the madman of the mine, who supposedly still haunts the ghost town. And actually, there are some really well done creepy scenes in this book where they tell the stories of the madman of the mine who was locked behind a door in the mine and was like pounding on it slowly over and over again, wanting to be let out. And so I thought, oh, that's some good creepy stuff right there. I love that kind of stuff. So this book, the kids are there at this ghost town with their church group because the church wants to turn the place into a Christian camp where they can have people come to this campground. And so they're working on this campground, turning this ghost town into a campground. And while they're there, spooky stuff starts to happen. Is it the madman of the mine? Is it the madman of the mine? Or is it something else that lurks in the dark? You have to find out because this is a non-spoiler review. Now, in this book, the main characters, I really liked the main character, except I had a lot of questions about the main character. The main character in this book is a kid named Boone, who goes to this campground without the rest of his family, and everyone else is there with their families. And there's never really an explanation of why he is there by himself with the church leaders, and the family's not there. And so I kind of was wondering, like, where's the family? Like, Why is he by himself? Is something going on at home? Like, is his parents like left? Like, what's going on here? So I had a lot of questions about that were never answered. So I was a little bit wondering, like, what's going on with this? You also have his best friend Callie, and the two of them make a great team. And I will say, I think one of the things that really helps this book is he went back to the formula of just a couple of kids. I think these books, Goosebumps, Spine Chillers, Heebie-Jeebies, Shivers, all of these work the best when it's two kids, preferably a boy and a girl. I think they play off each other the best. I think there's the best banter that way. I think that the storyline doesn't get muddled down trying to help you remember all these different characters throughout the story. So I think these work the best when it is this kind of setup, where it's just a couple of kids going through all these adventures. And that's what happens in this book. You have these two kids, Boone and Callie, who are trying to solve the mystery of what's happening in the ghost town. And so this sets it up well. There's a lot of good, fun action scenes here again. There's some good exploration of the mine, which I really loved. There are some good, creepy scenes where there's sightings of something out in the woods, and it just is well done. This one, I don't think it was my absolute favorite, but I would put it in the bottom of my top tier of Spine Chillers books. So it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And I was sad when it was over because, like I said, this is the end of the Spine Chillers series. There's no more books. There's only 12 of them. So the series is over for me, but I did have a good time reading this one. I think it's definitely worth a read. If you love 90s nostalgia or these kind of spooky stories with a hope-filled twist, this is the book for you. Check it out for sure. As far as character development goes, I think that the characters are well developed. They go through some interesting journeys. There's some interesting things about fear here that go beyond the typical, I'm afraid of something scary happening to me, but almost a little more about like the what ifs is the fear. The what if this happens, or what if this is going on, or what if this. And I felt like that was an interesting type of fear to explore. Whereas I feel like some of the other books have explored other kinds of fears, this one really talks about that idea of what if, which I think is a big fear that a lot of people have. They go through in their life wondering, what if this happens, or what if that happens? What do we do? And so that is the fear that's really explored here. And Boone moves through that fear, I think, very logically, and it makes sense. And the character development is earned by the end of the book, where he has to take some matters into his own hands and hopefully make it out okay. So, have you read A Haunted Mine is a Terrible Thing to Waste? I definitely give this book 3.5 out of 5 stars. I think it was a lot of fun to read. It was a good ending to the Spine Chillers series. Definitely redeemed after the last book, which... for more of my thoughts about that, check out my review of Hospitals Make Me Sick, Spine Chillers number 11, because that wasn't good. This one was good. So definitely check this one out. Have you read any of these Spine Chillers books? Have you found any of them anywhere? They're getting a little hard to find, I will say. So take a look for them for sure. And until next time, keep reading, everybody. Bye!